Jaydon Chavez-Silver was 17 years old. On June 26, 2015, he was shot at a house party in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His friend Esperanza Quintero called 911 and told the dispatcher Jaydon was barely breathing. The dispatcher, Matthew Sanchez, repeatedly asked the same questions as Jaydon bled. When Quintero swore in panic, Sanchez said, "Okay, you know what, ma'am? You can deal with it yourself. I'm not going to deal with this, okay?" and disconnected. Jaydon was taken to the hospital and died there. The man tasked with sending help chose, in that instant, to end the call. Jaydon was an ordinary teenager, standing on the cusp of adulthood, defined by irreducible ordinary things. Friends, a summer party, the assumption of a future. He did not fire a weapon. He was not engaged in the confrontation that produced the gunfire. He was present when violence happened to him. And in those minutes, his fate became tied to a broken link between a caller and the emergency system designed to save lives.
The 911 recording documents the sequence. Quintero, herself 17, speaks with acute distress, offering location and description. Sanchez repeatedly asks whether the victim is breathing. Quintero answers each time, her panic escalating as Jaydon deteriorates.
When she swears out of terror, Sanchez does not de-escalate, does not reframe the exchange to extract necessary details. He hangs up. Dispatchers are trained for callers exactly like Quintero. Panicked, incoherent, terrified. The training is explicit. Manage the caller so help can be dispatched. In this call, protocol was abandoned. Protocols across U.S. jurisdictions rest on a simple premise. The call must be handled even when the caller is not composed. Training exists because emergencies do not present in calm, well-spoken packages. A caller crying, screaming, or swearing is, by definition, someone in crisis. Sanchez had been trained to stay on the line, to work through confusion and fear, to deploy resources despite the behavior of the caller. Ending the call mid-emergency was not an ambiguous judgment. It was a departure from explicit procedural duty. After the disconnection, Jaydon was still transported to the hospital, but he died from his injuries. The recording was reviewed internally by the Albuquerque Fire Department Communications Center and determined to be a protocol violation. Sanchez resigned from his position amid public uproar once the recording circulated in national media. The New Mexico Department of Health revoked his emergency dispatcher license. Those administrative actions signify professional accountability, but they stop short of criminal sanction. Legally, the boundaries of accountability proved limited. Jaydon's parents, Cindy Chavez and Jesse Silver, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Albuquerque, alleging systemic and individual failure. Sanchez filed a wrongful termination suit, alleging coerced resignation. That suit was settled confidentially. No criminal charges were filed against Sanchez or the communications center. The dispute over responsibility unfolded in civil court, where negligence can be remedied with damages but not with imprisonment. Sanchez moved on after his resignation and license revocation. Reporting later traced his employment elsewhere. He did not serve prison time, nor was he criminally prosecuted. This sequence, license revocation, resignation, civil settlement, is common in cases of dispatcher failure. Administrative mechanisms remove individuals from roles and compensate survivors through civil suits, but they rarely match the moral weight of a human life lost. This case is not unique. Similar failures in emergency communications have led to death elsewhere. In 2008, Denise Amber Lee was kidnapped and murdered after dispatch failures and hung-up calls in Florida. In 2024, delayed or inadequate 911 responses preceded deaths in Nashville and Anchorage. In each instance, the system received a call and did not respond in time. The pattern persists because accountability tends to be reactive rather than preventive. Reviews after death, revocations after failure, settlements after litigation. Jaydon's case prompted conversations about dispatcher training, licensing standards, and oversight in Albuquerque and beyond. Protocols were reviewed, the licensing system came under scrutiny, but comprehensive legislative change that would create criminal consequences for dispatcher misconduct, resulting in death, did not follow. The Communications Center continued to operate. The licensing framework remained largely intact. Families continued to seek redress through civil suits. The reform that might have stopped the phone from hanging up has not materialized. 17 years old, shot at a party, the voice on the recording pleading for help while a dispatcher ended the call. That is the fact to carry. The recording still exists and is public. Listen to it and decide if administrative revocation and a settlement are proportionate responses to a moment in which one person chose to stop being the lifeline he had been trained to be. Subscribe to Case Files TV, because the people who fail at the moment that matters most rarely face consequences that match what they cost.